Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage. We are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
All right, welcome to another week of another week of Manifestations 2020. Oh man, so glad to be back on here every week, man. We just out here trying to get straightening out in this world, give y'all a free and good game. Hope you guys love the video. I know the feedbacks is just lovely from everybody. Thanks so much. Shout out again to Major for doing that, giving us real hyped up and energized with visuals that just match up with everything we say. Definitely, man. We have so much coming this year for you guys. But we have a sweet night for you guys tonight. Not going to be a long night tonight. We just want to make sure that you guys have some great knowledge of man up dialogue. Man up, that's what we about. And just the Q1 review. We have to treat this thing like a business or what you do in life. So we want to know y'all Q1 updates, right? So we had our vision board of what we wanted to get accomplished this year. And we wanted to see if we attack some of that stuff off of it. But yeah, so before we get into that, I definitely want to give a huge shout out to LeBron James for his 40K points, making NBA history, the most that any player has ever reached, the first to ever do it. So shout out to Le Goat, as they call him.
Brown Flock of Flame.
Okay. Okay.
Definitely want to give a shout out to LeBron James for that. So yeah, huge accomplishment.
That's huge.
With that being said, Q1 review. So on my vision board, I pretty much had this year where I wanted to do things like enter a bass competition. So far in the quarter one, I didn't get that done. I wanted to start my podcast and launch those. I haven't got that done yet. That's still coming. What I did want to do, which was increase the subscription of our platform, which I think went up since I said that 40 plus new subscription since January, which is pretty dope. We're just now getting into the marketing era. So I think that's pretty dope for getting that stuff up and running. There were some things that were popping that I lost track of that I definitely would start back, but it was getting some traction on it. Major has done some things as well to get traction. I know that was part of his Q1. I know he's about to get into it in a minute, but he's doing phenomenal stuff as far as things going on with Manversations. So everything else pretty much haven't been accomplished yet. What I really wanted to make the focus on was to try to get more subscriptions, and we did that by 40 plus. So I think that was pretty good. It's a start, but we got a long way to go. But definitely some motivation on the right path of where we're going. So that's pretty much my Q1 update for so far. We're definitely going to do the Q2 update in a couple more months. So more than likely there'll be more stuff done, and we'll have probably bigger reaction and growth in the next couple months. So stay tuned and look forward to that. So I definitely hand it over to Major or Bobby. You guys can do your Q1 for the year so far for Manversations.
Most definite. All right, so for my vision board, I had several different things that I had placed on there. I had listed that I wanted to do, especially since I didn't do as many of them last year as I wanted to. I wanted to be very busy and active as far as jiu-jitsu competitions go for this year. Definitely want to do more traveling to more places this year.
Yes.
Really want to recommit to my fitness goals, not just in terms of general well-being and working out, but also to improve my performance and my conditioning for jiu-jitsu as well too. Jiu-jitsu is a very they do call it the gentle art, and it's not as necessarily physically demanding, but there's a lot of pressures placed on your joints, does call for a certain level of flexibility. And, like anything else in athletics, you can get hurt. Things can go wrong. You can step the wrong way, what have you. And overall, a stronger body will enable you to, bounce back quicker from injuries and lessen certain things that happen to you, and also makes it a lot more difficult for you to have to, go through longer rehab and injury processes. So, not just for my overall performance, but for my overall wellness, for my quality of life. Fitness, super necessary, super important. Uh, Definitely wanted to read a whole lot more. I didn't do as much of it. I haven't done a lot of reading like I like to over the past few years. I've always found one thing or something else to get in the way of that. So reading was very essential for me this year. Had to commit to being a better reader, looking to acquire some more professional certification so I can advance in my career. Definitely want to get back to my diving roots. I am scuba certified, but over the last year, um, I let life get in the way, and I just, completely took a backseat. So this year, trying to get back into the swing of that. And of course, with everything else, still trying to step my paper up for this year, because no matter what, that's always the objective. Yesterday's price, yesterday's paycheck can't be today's paycheck. We always got to be elevating, increasing one way, shape, form, or the next. So, first quarter's in. I have not competed as of yet. I did have a competition that I was looking to get into back in February that I was planning to get into from last year. However, around Christmas time, I did have a slight injury. I did pull a muscle in my back that had me sidelined for a good 2 weeks. So that kind of sidelined my plans for being active. So I haven't done anything as of yet. But for me, that is about to change. I actually have nothing major, but it is a slight in-house tournament coming up this weekend. So I'm not necessarily treating it like I would another one of the competitions I usually get involved in. I'm looking at it more as like a warm-up preparation. It's going to be in-house, most people from my gym and some of the sister schools in the South Florida area. But I am looking forward to getting the feel, getting the swing of things, the emotions. Um, Anyone who's ever competed or anyone who's ever done a performance of any kind, whether it's music, giving a speech, whatever, you definitely understand that one of the big things that comes with it is the mental aspects, the nerves. One of my a couple of my team members a month or two ago, they went and had their first competition, and it was fun, it was exciting and everything, watching them go through it. But they all had the same observation I had the first time I competed. The nerves, man, the mental awareness and fortitude was crazy. And some of them did really well. A couple of them kind of got shook, but definitely want to make sure that I have that rust taken off. So when I do compete in the tournament, I do have my eyes set forward. It's going to be next month, that I can go and do full justice. And so that's going to be the first of many. Looking forward to it. As far as travel goes, haven't been anywhere as of yet, but I do have a trip booked with some folks during the Memorial Day weekend. We're looking to hit up Colombia. It should be a blast. It's going to be my first trip out of the continental U.S. So I've been to Bahamas, been to Puerto Rico. I have not yet actually crossed the water properly and been to a different country outside of the Bahamas. So new country, new continent. Looking forward to seeing what's shaking over there, checking on the family, seeing how the family lives over there, how they get in over there. Should be a blast. As far as exercise goes, I have been consistent this year with going through the rigors of it, both for sport, but also for personal preferences. I've decided in the past, I was pretty much, all over the gym, barbells, dumbbells, everything. I've decided for my own purposes and also because of what's interesting to me now, I'm pretty much kettlebells exclusive. So I have developed a huge, huge passion for kettlebells. I find it very practical for functional movement, period. The whole idea of using a very heavy weight that calls for you to adjust your body to adapt to it in different positions, using momentum and everything, the ways you can be creative with it, and just the overall fun nature of it. It's not something static where you're on a bench, you're swinging it. You can do different things with it. It allows for a lot of creativity. But most importantly for me, I find it to be great for functional movement. So You got dudes that can, bench press, 450, they can deadlift 500 pounds or whatnot, and that's great. That's important. But minus the exception of the deadlift, when it comes to things like, presses and everything else, those movements are one dimensional, up, down, up, down. There are situations that call for you to be strong while in motion, off balance. Can you, lift a box a certain way? If something's falling, can you adjust to reach out to catch it or what have you? Those kind of things, being strong helps, but it's more practical to be strong in multiple different dimensions. And I find with kettlebells, it allows me to be able to be powerful, to develop strength, flexibility, and also to work on my balance as well. So for me, I find kettlebells to be, the ultimate game changer. Some might feel differently, but I definitely recommend everyone try to go beyond just the regular machines that are out there. There's different tools out there for different purposes. Find what you like and you might be surprised. Some people say the gym working out isn't for everyone. I say there's a whole bunch of tools out there. Try everything until you find something that hits for you. So my fitness goals are taking off, and I'm looking forward to seeing where I come in next year. I'm still dreaming of my 8-pack. So don't be surprised don't be surprised one of these days the broadcast kicks off. I'm sure it's off. That's all I got to say. You've been warned.
Just let me know beforehand so I can come on a little later, let you have the mic, the ladies, do your thing, and we'll come on later. But that's what's up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't want you hopping out the car like this, You know what I'm saying? I don't want you hopping out the car like this,
Club Drake drinking full effect. As far as my goals for reading, what was that?
All he's missing in that picture is the cape. Go ahead.
As far as my reading goals, I've been pretty proud of that as well. So far on the year, I have completed 3 books, none of them light. I've been able to tackle and put down Niccolo Machiavelli's The Prince. Very good book, very controversial. I know the book gets a lot of heat because supposedly it teaches you how to manipulate people and how to use dark psychology on people. I would disagree. The book basically is an instruction manual. I wouldn't say instruction manual, but a sort of guide from Niccolo Machiavelli, who was a politician back in the day. He had influence in the Italian courts, basically telling you how to maneuver and navigate and conduct yourself when it comes to dealing with politics of the day. So manipulation in the sense of how to get optimum outcomes for situations, yes. Manipulations in terms of, I'm going to, lie and cheat and finesse people and do people dirty, not so much. Like most things, I'd say read for yourself to get acquainted. Very great book. I also was able to read what has been a classic. I know it's a favorite book for a lot of people. Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. Very dope book, very philosophical, very deep. Great story. A lot of great gems, a lot of great game in the book. Worth reading. Very much easy to love. And I took on a heavier book that was challenging to get through, but it's very powerful. Richard Rothstein's The Color of Law, A Forgotten History of How Our Government Segregated America. That book is powerful. Heavy, yes, you already be knowing. That book I'm going to put up there as essential reading.
Yes.
When we talk about the system of racism, white supremacy, and how it just bleeds, how all the, especially if you understand Brother Neely Fuller Jr., how in all 9 areas of people activity, racism, white supremacy plays a part. Going through that book, you literally see how virtually every single aspect, I'm not kidding, from the medical field to the legal field, the religious entities, we're talking about in romance, you see how at every different level, this country was forcibly, or I should say, was heavily influenced to become segregated in ways that disenfranchised Black people primarily. So worth reading to really understand this country and how things are, why they are the way they are. Huge thing. Presently, I'm multitasking a couple books. I'm currently reading Letters from a Stoic by Seneca, a great book on Stoic philosophy. Also reading Time Management Ninja by Craig Jarrow, 21 Tips for More Time and Less Stress in Your Life. And I've also taken on a devotional for this year. I found one that I liked by Tony Dungy and Nathan Whitaker, the 1 Year Uncommon Life Daily Challenge. So we're definitely making sure that it's not just the body that's physically strong, but we got to make sure that the mental is powerful up here. You can be as strong as you want to all day long. You can push tractor trailers. You can be able to bench press Mini Coopers if you want to. But if your mind isn't just as strong, if not more so, all you're going to be is a powerful dummy. You're going to be fit to be a tool and be a beast of burden for somebody else. So it's pivotal to make sure that you're lifting weights up here like you're lifting weights here as well. Certification game, currently studying, trying to drill down and seal the deal on my CompTIA Security Plus exam. Last time I took it, I came within about 3 points of passing.
Nice.
Still got a chip on my shoulder, looking to rectify the scales. Hopefully I'll have that knocked out possibly by April. We'll see. I want to make sure
Nice.
I ace it the next go around. No work on the diving aspect. I've been looking for some places where I can kind of, get some refreshers. But I'm narrowing down some places, and once time makes sense, once I've gotten a couple other things on my list out the way, we'll go ahead and handle that. And that's where we at. What you got, Major?
Not too much. I am back in the gym. I'm not quite, I don't think at the level that you at yet, but I am at least back. And so
relax.
Getting back in, that's half the work right there. You know what I'm saying? And so I am back in the gym. I'm getting there. You know what I'm saying? So I feel good about that. As far as renovation, piping is redone. Has some additional work in the kitchen that's redone. That's good. I have some boxes I can check off where I can say, hey, there's been notable progress. We're in a little break though, because we be getting hit in the head with these fees a little bit. So that, the renovation, I made a couple of strides on that this year. Fun, as far as fun is concerned, I got my honeymoon remix. That carnival celebration was lit. Because last year we had our honeymoon. It was whack, really. For the most part, like it was one of them old people cruises. You feel me? And old people. White DJ only plays that. That's all he play all night. That's it. So it was a combination of that. Exactly, that bogan shit.
That ain't your bag?
Right. It's like that. It's the vogan shit. And then the geriatric, the whole geriatric element of the cruise generally, it was whack compared to cruises I've been on. And that was her first cruise. So we had to do it again. We did it right this time. It was lit. Carnival celebration don't owe me nothing. So that was G. As far as the job search, my resume is redone. It's out there, making its round. So we'll see what that do. Hopefully, I'm gonna put a time frame on that. I'm gonna give it 60 days. I just really started about 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna give it 60 days, see where that go. As far as manifestations is concerned, big changes coming because I'm kind of cracking the code on how to get some of the video content out here. I'm doing some of the shorts reels and they're taking off. We got one reel on there that's got damn near 10,000 hits right now, so the viewership is increasing. Along with that, the membership is increasing. So, I'm working very hard on that, and I'm going to make an effort to crank out at least 5 to 10 new short and shorter videos per week. You know what I'm saying? As along with, the idea that generally, in a general sense, we've been hearing from the subscribers, whatever, and, we want to make a concentrated effort to keep this show shorter, the actual show. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we're going to make the show bigger. You know what I'm saying? By just kind of maximizing and going with some of the trends that we see and, what the market is asking for, as well as what the viewers have asked for. We hear you. You know what I'm saying? So we're working on making things shorter and getting you things that are more, I guess, digestible for you. You know what I'm saying? But you still gonna get that work. So we still gonna do what we do. And as far as the car search, I pulled up to a couple dealerships. I'm looking for an SUV. Haven't found anything that tickles my fancy just that much just yet. But looking so far so good. So those are the things that I've been able to check boxes on thus far. And we mashing, man. We're gonna see. We're gonna have some more good news to report for you at Q2. So so far so good.
Yes, sir.
Definitely awesome. Yeah. So as you guys can see, your Q1 probably just like our Q1, and it's just to get the ball rolling. So we all have stuff that we got rolling, and that's what it's all about. Your Q1 is just to get the stuff going and rolling. Q2. You pick up the momentum. Q3, you have a little dip, and then Q4, you end the year strong on whatever you're doing. So definitely wanted to give you guys a heads up and be a little transparent about what's going on with manifestations. And there you have it. Yeah. So definitely we will get into our first topic of the day, of the night, which is
what you got?
Today's Trendly weekly topics, right?
What you
got? We've been talking about, especially with tonight's episode, we're talking about man up dialogue, and these two brothers are definitely not doing what men are supposed to do, and especially in our community. These are two, how you say, woke individuals, conscious community individuals that haven't been doing what they need to do. So as you guys know, for Brother Polite plea deal, he has potentially years behind bar. Brother Polite, a popular social media influencer, has been arrested for alleged sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl and has been faced years. I think he had like 6 years, I think they gave him, if I'm not mistaken.
That's it?
I think so, because yeah, I forgot exactly. I think the reason why is because he didn't fight it. I think he went and took the plea deal. So because he got the plea deal, they went and gave him those years, and he has to do at least 6 years in prison. Wow. So he's currently locked up now. If I'm not mistaken, allegedly he got 6 years. I'm not really sure about the amount of years, but I think it's around that time frame. And the reason why I brought him up, because he had got locked up last year on these charges, and the 14-year-old girl is actually his girlfriend's daughter. So that's kind of messed up, how you can have sex with your girlfriend's daughter in the midst of all of that, and it's real sad for a guy to be preying on a young girl like that, especially if you're already engaged in a relationship with grown women, So guys like this is definitely needs to be eradicated out of our community. Don't care how much knowledge you have or whatever. All that goes by the wayside when you're using the knowledge to prey on individuals within the community that you should be protected. That 14-year-old girl looked at you for guidance, not for you to prey on her and do something deceitful like that. So I brought that up because recently, just the other day, another conscious community leader got arrested and sentenced. So accused cult leader Nature Boy found guilty on all counts, including rape in DeKalb County. Bishop was found guilty on all charges of rape, false imprisonment, and sharing 3 pieces of sexual explicit content on social media, which they call that revenge porn. And Bishop now faces a possible sentence of life in prison without parole. All right, so he is definitely out of the game. You probably won't be seeing him anymore. But these are the kind of behaviors that need to be eradicated out of our community. It's a sad situation that we have guys like this that's preying on the Black women when we're out here trying to fight against the narrative that we protect Black women, and we don't need people like this to be preying on Black women. That type of behavior is definitely not acceptable in our community, and we don't need it, and it needs to be eradicated. So one way or another, it's going to be eradicated. Either the street justice or you're going to go through jail. But you're no longer within our community, and rightfully so. So I'll turn it over to you guys for whatever extra commentary you guys want to make on that.
Wow. That's, I mean, it's heartbreaking, but it brings me peace at the same time, because like you said, those type of characters, they don't need to be in the hood at all. They don't need to be among any of us. That type of behavior is antithetical to what is the behavior of a man. You understand what I'm saying? We are protectors of the community. We are providers for the community. We advise the community. We don't prey on the community. You know, so as far as I'm concerned, with both of them and with anybody else who shares that type of behavior, they can lock them up and throw away the key for all I care. You know, that type of behavior just has no place. I draw the line at children. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I will go shoot somebody myself for harming a child. Real talk. You know, and when I see things like that, it just disturbs me. And I just want to put it out there. You know, a lot of these people in the conscious community that just follow somebody blindly because they say Africa, you understand? Those are the people who pedestalize those assholes. I want to put that out there, because you got a lot of them out there. A lot of people, let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a trillion. You got a lot of people in the conscious community that don't think. You understand? If somebody says Africa enough, you know, and they put on a big old dashiki and an ankh, you know, and start using big ass words out of context like damn Oswald Bates, they'll follow you to the pits of hell. They will follow you to the pits of hell. You know, they don't think. I saw this fool Nature Boy some time ago on a video talking about how he allows his son to play with his penis. What? Really? And nobody checked him on that. Nobody said nothing. When I saw that nigga do that, I was done. When I saw his bitch ass do that, I was done. Who talks like that? You feel me? So yeah, and then Polite, you know, he's another one. Like, you could just, if you really pay attention to what this dude is saying and watching what he's doing, you know he full of shit. You understand? Just by the way he interacts with women, you know, just by the way he carries himself. Generally, he talk all this black shit, but he always Fendi, Gucci, Prada down.
Yeah.
But you so black. Okay, well, you got the eyes of the nation on you, the eyes of the whole conscious community. You got NBA players paying you to be their advisor. Okay, well, wear some black designer stuff or create your own. But why are you still on this? You're supposed to be so woke, but you ain't doing nothing woke. What you do doesn't match what you say. So I wasn't surprised when I found out he was messing with that 14-year-old girl. I really wasn't. You know, especially, you know, the way that he used to womanize and move about, whatever the case may be. And that's another thing, you know, with some of these little creepy niggas in the conscious community. You know, they use the conscious community and their conscious platform as a way to get some ass. You understand? What part of the game is that? When did Malcolm sign off on that? I missed that. You feel me? Malcolm, the Panthers, any of them.
Remember, Malcolm, that's the reason why he had beef with Elijah Muhammad. Because of that 14-year-old underage thing.
Yes. So that's real, man. We got to get these bitch ass frauds up out the paint. And if it takes, you know, them being institutionalized by the man, by the white man, whatever the case may be. I hate to use the term the man, but I'm using that, you know, figuratively. If it takes them being institutionalized by the white man to get them out of our community because they're a detriment to it, then so be it. It's a necessary evil. And I'll land my plane.
Definitely. Drake?
First and foremost, what I have to say about the both of them getting locked up is...
There it is. There it is.
Bravo.
There it is. Yes.
And for me, it's personally bittersweet because I've always been of the opinion that predators, be they male or female, they shouldn't have the dignity and privilege to go and sit before a judge and a jury and get a sentence handed to them. The minute it becomes known that this is how they get down, and we know that without a shadow of a doubt,
yes,
they should just turn up missing. Just law enforcement goes by the crib, they go at the job workplace, they just never showed up. No one knows what happened. They just disappeared. Maybe a hat was found on the floor or something. No one knows what they end up at, or they found in somebody's canal or dumpster, what have you.
It is.
That's what I feel, because to me, especially where we're concerned, because we understand that the system does not look like us. It does not represent our best interests. It only moves according to its own best interests. To me, when these suckers are taken in, that is an indictment of the dominant society on the community or on the perpetrators. That's not our indictment. This is what they in their laws say. But what do we say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if they never intervene and do something about it, then it's perfectly fine. It's all well and good. If you have an R. Kelly that's out here preying on children, everybody knows about it, it takes them other people to come in and do something about it. Meanwhile, we sit back and just chill, cool with it.
Yeah.
That's why I have an issue with that. Not because I don't want to see them get what's due to them, but because I don't like the fact that it's not coming from us. The wealth of a nation, the wealth of a people, the riches of a people are the children. If you do not, cannot, and will not protect the children, your society is not fit to live. It's not fit to see the next generation. It should be snuffed out overnight because you don't even have the willingness or the wherewithal to protect the next generation.
Yeah.
And there is no institution, there is no teacher, there's no teaching, there is nothing more sacred than the children. So if we have to choose between what is in the best interest of the next generation of the future and then the old guard, burn the old heads every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. That's how I feel about it. These two suckers in particular have been fraud for the longest. Nature Boy, I can't even get into that. That dude has been, I don't know if he was ever on the rails to even say he's off the rails.
Wow.
Brother Impolite, as I've been calling him for the longest time, that nigga from day one has never sat right with me. And I know a lot of people gave him props, was rock with him. He never felt right by my spirit because I'm looking at him and I see the materialism all up in and out of the system. And I'm not saying that regardless of whether you claim to be religious or spiritual, that you can't like nice things. That's nonsense. I don't believe that you necessarily have to take a vow of poverty and you got to walk around in some biblical sackcloth and ashes. I'm not saying that. I don't begrudge you a nice luxury car. I don't begrudge you some nice clothing items. I don't begrudge you for having a thing for shoes. That's not my thing. But when this becomes your costume, your day-to-day, this is what you fixate on. Everything is about cars with you, fly women, and not even sisters, but you out here, you with everything under the sun, just pushing excess. I gotta look at you funny style. And the funny thing, and I don't want to belabor the point too long, but the funny thing that I have with both Nature Boy and with Impolite, because I believe they represent two opposite sides of the same spectrum, is you will have a lot of people who will bang on Judeo-Christian religions, specifically Christianity, but they'll bang on Islam as well too. But they'll bang on Christianity, talking about how people are brainwashed. They serve Sky Daddy, and the church is full of hypocrites, this, that, and the third. And you can't think for yourself. They'll say that, and they'll leave the church. They'll abandon God and everything. But they'll go over and they put on onks. They go ahead and they claim other things. But the same mindset that they had when they were over here, that they swore they got away from Christianity, they're over here.
Yeah.
You weren't critically thinking when you were a Christian, but now you over here, you following Polite, or you up here with Nature Boy, whatever other practice over here, and you're still not critically thinking. You criticize having blind faith and blind belief in God and Christ and the church and everything, but you over here with the same blind faith, the same blind belief. Ain't no difference. The only difference is one is saying something that you like a little bit more than the other. But in terms of how you approach it, it's the same thing.
Right.
So the issue isn't Christianity. The issue isn't the church. The issue is yourself. You switch from having Pastor so-and-so mucking up your brain to now you got Nature Boy mucking up your brain. Same dirty feet, same mud on your feet, but you just put them in different shoes now. So was the issue Christianity, or was the issue you and how you approach and go about things? We got to be intellectual. And there's too much of that we have in our community. We have some of the most brilliant minds the world has ever seen, not just in the past, but presently. We have some right people, brilliant people among us, not just academically, but in terms of being street smart and being logical and having wisdom and game and common sense. We have a lot of wise people among us, but there's too much anti-intellectual among us where people just want to check out and just let someone do the thinking for them. They want to put somebody else in the driver's seat. They don't want to be responsible for themselves.
Real talk.
Yeah.
And as long as that's the case, unfortunately, you're always going to have a Nature Boy. You're always going to have a Brother Impolite. And you're also always going to have these pork chop pimps in the pulpits as well. Because the issue isn't them. The issue is you. If you are above the influence, if you can't be easily swayed, if you sit there and you analyze and critically think, then none of these people who have false intentions and bad agendas can have their way with you. So if you take the food out the lion's mouth, the lion's going to go hungry. They got to find another way to get over.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Well said.
Definitely. Well said. Well said.
I just want to add one more thing to the mix real quick before you go on to the next topic, gang.
No. I'm not going to go to the next topic, but I'm going to give you this gem so you can add in with it. So speaking on that, you guys remember the groomer, the guy who married this girl's mother, and she was a child at the time.
This nigga.
She was a child at the time, and then she ended up being 18, and he married her. So this was a groomer that ended up marrying his stepdaughter. And they're having their second child on the way now. This is them again. So I just want to give you that little nugget on that. And now you can do what you need to do, Major.
It's like, man, the material just never stops coming when you do this type of work. You feel me? Like, damn, bruh. And this man has no shame. You know, didn't Morgan Freeman do something like that too? But I mean, never mind. I just wanted to add to that because I think this is very important. You said earlier, you know, when I asked why Brother Polite got such a light sentence, you cited something. I want to make sure that I add this. He got at least part of the reason he got such a light sentence is because the girl that he molested was black. I just wanted to add that. I think that's very important. Had he molested a 14-year-old white girl, his ass would have got 30 years minimum. You know,
like no plea deal.
Exactly. And you know, that actually helps dovetail right into this creep that you just put up just now. You understand? Because it's the same mentality. Our sisters are not protected. That's why I respect Brother Amun so much. Shout out to Brother Amun out of Texas. You know what I'm saying? This brother, they have a security apparatus for the community. You know, when people turn up missing, they go out and look for them. When there's domestic violence, they go out and they kind of play liaison and get in between the parties.
They regulate.
And regulate. That's what we need. You know what I'm saying? Dangerous work, but we're dangerous people when we need to be, or we should be when we need to be, because we shouldn't be allowing this type of shit to happen. You know, this punk ass nigga right here, the groomer, you know, somebody should have dealt with him too. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have no kneecap. If we keeping it above, he shouldn't have no kneecaps.
Absolutely.
You know, you don't do shit like that. What is wrong with him? You know, and then the people around him that support him. it's not just, I want to point out, bro, when you start talking about these little pervy, you know,
ecosystem
bastards, is exactly, it's the ecosystem, the people around them that allow them to become as toxic as they become, the enablers. You understand what I'm saying? You got to call them out too. Just like when we call out, you know, we got all these toxic females and we call out these chicken heads that be reposting dumb shit, and in the amen corner with other females that we know no better. We get mad at them more because we know they know better and they still co-sign the same dumb shit. Same thing with the men. You understand what I'm saying? You see these guys out here doing dirt and doing little sleazy things, and instead of checking the behavior, or at a very minimum, just falling back from them and ostracizing them from society. I don't rock with that dude. Speak to him. You understand what rock would do? No, we're co-signing them. We're going having beers with them. We're going hanging out with them. You know, we're going trying to get them to put us on at their job. That ain't us. That's never been how we got down. Even if you go back to ancient Africa, I can tell you because I have Africans in my family. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't believe that, you know, we have, you know, our roots in Africa and we started here, either way, you understand what I'm saying? In ancient Africa, that was how they did things. They would ostracize people that shamed their families. It was a thing. And here, you know, we didn't associate with little pervy bastards either. You know, once you got that stench on you of being a pedophile or a groomer, what have you, ain't nobody fuck with you.
Yeah.
You are persona non grata. You understand? We need to get back to that.
Bring back shame.
If you ain't going, you know, if somebody come after mine, everybody already know what's going to happen. So don't nobody really touch nobody that run with me. You understand what I'm saying? Or even look at somebody that rock with me the wrong way. You understand? But you know, we need to extend that to our brothers and sisters outside the community that may not have the protection of a me. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be out there, man, because this is a problem, bro. There's no way he should have been allowed to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, the thing about it is, like you said, with the enabling, you enable that type of behavior, you're just as bad as the person that is doing it. You know what I'm saying? You're giving them added protection to make them feel comfortable, like it's something that is admired throughout everybody around him, you know. But we as people have to have that code of conduct. We got to get back to that code of conduct because these children depend on us. You have to lead by example. One of the reasons why I don't date younger girls, even when they're 25, I don't date 25-year-old girls. Why? Because my exes have children that's 25. So I'm always looking at it as me dating my ex's child or her friends, my ex's child's friends. And that in my mind just doesn't sit right with me. So when I see these guys that be going way down to 18-year-olds and they're damn near our age, you know, I look at them like, yo, mind-wise, you're sick. You're sick with it. Yeah, she might be legal because your mind tells you she's legal, but you know, mentally and maturity, yo, she's not on your wavelength. There's a big disconnect in that. So me personally, I don't date women that's around the same age as my stepdaughters. I don't do it. I don't feel comfortable doing it. So for this guy to feel comfortable doing it, that's crazy to me. You know what I mean? Just nonsense.
But you're a man of morals. You dig? You're a man of morals. And that's the difference between you and a creepy fuck nigga like that. You dig?
And I'm gonna say something that's gonna be a little controversial.
Yo.
A predator, period, male or female, regardless, that's someone that already isn't wired properly. I'm not giving them a pass. I'm not giving them an excuse or whatever. I'm saying that's someone that is not all the way up there.
Yeah.
They are operating for the most part within what is considered normal to them, and they only adjust based on what the climate is. If the climate is on board with them doing that, or will let them pass, they'll go along with it. But if they understand that the heat is going to be too much for them, they'll fall back. Or if they're really, really whacked out, like legit, they have a legit mental issue, like these pedophiles, whatever, do that ones that know that they got police watch them and everything. They still got to look at kiddie porn. They can't help themselves, whatever. You can understand the sickness. Yeah. The real cowards, the real disgusting people to me are the enablers. Because they may never go and do something like that. They might not have no desire to go and do that. And they know it's wrong. But they will still go right ahead and they will give covering to this person. This person might not have full capacity up here, but you do. And that's the reason why you don't go and do that. But you go ahead and you put a battery in their back. You go ahead and support them. You go ahead and enable for them. You block for them and everything else. You're evil. At least this person has the courage, quote unquote, to act on their desires. You'll sit back from the cut safe and you'll just look at them like, oh, dang, that's messed up what happened to them. Like your ass wasn't right there going ahead, not saying nothing, enabling, backing them up. You a coward. And that worries me because if you lend support to that, what else are you going to support?
Right. Oh, go ahead. We'll talk about it. You just brought something to mind when you said that. Go ahead.
Well, you want to drop it real quick?
Put a pin.
When you go ahead, Bobby. I'm gonna come back to it.
No, I'm done.
Okay, I just wanted to. I don't know if you got the story or not, man, but it was really on my heart all week, man. That sister that was tortured, raped, and murdered by those 7 people. You know what I'm saying? And she called her friends. Oh man, that was painful, bro. That was really painful.
What the hell was this?
No, I don't know about that. We could save that for another show. We could save it for next week.
Yeah,
we gotta talk about that.
Yeah,
we gotta talk about that, man. That was wow.
Yeah, we definitely because that sounds like it needs a little bit more of extent dialogue, and me and Bobby, we don't have knowledge on that. So yeah, we'll definitely look it up and bring it up on the next show.
Yeah, Mahogany Jackson was her name.
Okay, definitely remind us so we can definitely give this woman some justice by shedding some light on that subject.
For sure.
So I want to get into the next trendy topic. I don't know if you guys seen this, but this was crazy. All right, this was crazy right here. Boom. No, I'm sorry. Boom. Madonna slammed for including photo of Luther Vandross in AIDS tribute on tour. The estate demands she removes his picture. So Luther Vandross fans were outraged after Madonna included a photo of legendary singer during the AIDS tribute of her celebrations tour. The Never Too Much vocalist passed away on July 1st, 2005, reportedly following complications from a stroke. However, his estate took issue with the photo's inclusion, demanding it be removed. Madonna concert goers were shocked to see Luther Vandross' photo added to the AIDS tribute. Luther Vandross suffered from a stroke, then died of a heart attack in 2005. And the last one here is Madonna dead wrong for putting Luther Vandross in the AIDS tribute. I heard a lot of rumors about him, but that was never one. And if it is true, that wasn't her place to say. While Vandross never admitted publicly to his sexuality, his good friend Patti LaBelle once claimed during a 2017 appearance on Watch What Happens Live that the Endless Love singer struggled with the ideal of coming out publicly. We talked about it, LaBelle said to host Andy Cohen. Basically, he did not want his mother to be, although she might have known, but he wasn't going to come out and say it to the world. And he had a lot of lady fans, and he told me he just didn't want to upset the world. And I believe what Patti LaBelle was saying, because Patti LaBelle is basically, she was that mother, she was that motherly energy to a lot of people, especially to a lot of the celebrities in the industry realm. They would come to her like the big aunt, the mother, and they would talk to her about, her issues. She just gave that warming, comfortable feeling and vibe. It's been for years. Everybody has always assumed that about him. We've never seen him with a woman, and he was, just the way he was kind of like on that Prince vibe with, metrosexual tendencies and things like that. So we kind of figured, a lot of Black people. I remember there was a joke that the Black person came out and was like, I forgot what movie or show it was in, and they was like, "Yeah, I'm gay," and they was like, "Shh, we already knew that. We were just waiting for you to come out and say it." You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have intuitions without people even saying it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's his secret or his activities or knowledge to tell the world. And if he felt like he went to the grave and didn't want to tell the world that, then I think out of respect, Madonna should do it. And I think this goes to show you more of how white women can always cross boundaries on Black people and give that immunity protection, and reason why they are the number one supporters and enforcers of white supremacy. And Madonna, I don't trust Madonna. I always think she's been in the limelight around Black people, but I think deep down inside, she has a disdain for Black people. One of the reasons why she adopted Black children and stuff like that to cover up her little, disdain for them, the illusion that she wants to be down with us. But I think deep down, there's some kind of disdain that comes from her, because she's been doing over the years little sneaky little stuff like that. And I just don't trust Madonna when it comes to things like that. And rightfully so, she should have taken down, and she should be called out on that, because it wasn't her place to do that, especially if he has an estate, that she should get permission from the estate on using his photos or anything like that in regards to that matter. So I land my plane on that.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, bruh, that's how white supremacy works, man. I mean, at the end of the day, make no mistake, if it came from Madonna, it was intentional. It was absolutely intentional. Like you said, she's done this type of stuff before. She's done this type of little slick stuff with Michael Jackson. She did something slick, talking dirty behind him, talking greasy with Prince. She came out, insinuating that, he was a drug addict or whatever the case may be after he passed. She dresses her male sons in dresses and skirts like a lot of white celebrities do. You understand what I'm saying? So, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't expect anything more from Madonna. This is the type of trash and filth that you're dealing with when you're talking about Madonna. She hit the wall hard. Madonna, last time I saw her, she looked like the damn Jigsaw killer. You dig?
Yeah.
That damn thing from Saw, whatever the hell, not the actual Jigsaw killer, but the little puppet.
Like multiplayer game.
Yeah, that's Jigsaw. Yeah. Yeah.
She looked like that shit last time I saw her ass. So nobody's looking at Madonna anymore. And for some strange reason, she's been a sex symbol all her life. She's always looked like, when dog shit gets old and it dries up and turns white. That's always been what Madonna looks like to me. You understand? And that being said, when you hit the wall like that and you never had talent to begin with, let's keep it a buck. Madonna can't sing her way out of anything. You understand? Yeah. She has no talent to fall back on, so she's just an old hag now. So she's mad at the world. So who do you start lashing out against in your old age? You understand? The Black people whose talent you were always envious of. Let's keep it a buck. Who's got more talent than Luther Vandross on earth? Luther Vandross, Michael Jackson, and Prince, the three people that she did something shady to that we know about. I'm just saying. So I'm not surprised to see her wigging out like that. It's despicable, and we need to start taking action against things like this. Don't just call her out and ask her to take it down. Sue that bitch. You understand? Yeah. If you can, go for the jugular. You got to start making people pay so that people know not to mess with you and they know what lines not to cross. Because we have a habit of doing that. We want to, we want an apology and we want all these symbolic gestures. Nah, bro. Take action. She has, I mean, that has to be on some type of official. Anyway, it looked like it was on some type of official promotional material, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be some type of libel or slander. There has to be something that protects the estate against that. You understand what I'm saying? And Black people generally, when you see these white supremacists start to make these type of moves and be disrespectful to your icons and your culture, you got to smack them upside the head. And that's exactly what they need to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I did want to say that you're right. They should sue because remember, she's messing with his financial estate because the reason why he probably doesn't say anything about his sexuality is because a lot of churchgoers, a lot of faith based fans listen to his music in a heterosexual way.
Yes.
So a lot of people will probably not want to buy his music. And just like Patti LaBelle stated, in the last sentence about his fans and what they would think, we've seen that happen. Remember, that happened to Frank Ocean. Remember, his joint was hitting.
Right.
I was listening to Frank Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't homophobic, but I mean, it's just subconsciously you're thinking he was talking about a woman, and I'm playing the music, dedicated to a woman, and then you come out and say, nah, I like men. So now, and subconsciously, I'm like, okay, this song is about two dudes sword fighting. So, I don't want that type of energy. Like, all right, that's meant for somebody else.
Well, it's not even just the church. It's not even just the church crowd. It's about the image. Period. That's
Woo!
And especially those people who understand marketing, everything. You have to understand that audience is everything, and it goes beyond that because there have been issues in the past, and it's been stated. I know it was a thing when NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys were big, and they were kind of talking about those things. It was well known, especially back during that time frame. Hey, when we're marketing our music, our demographic is the ladies. We want you to sing towards us. So it wasn't just about your sexuality, because that gets turned off, but even with these performers, especially when they had the boy bands, when they were doing the live performances and everything, these performers are selling an image. They're selling a persona. The image of all these boy bands, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees,
All for One,
New Edition, Mink Edition, all these guys, they're selling this persona of the available romantic gentlemen who are the dreamboats.
Yes.
Right? These are the men that the women are like, I wish I had a man like that. And the women who are in relationships like, why can't my man be like that?
Yeah.
So they're selling desire. So you could be in the boy band, you could have the best voice. They don't want you putting out there that you're gay because heterosexual women are not going to be feeling those romantic love jams the way they would if you were heterosexual. They don't want to know if you're dating or if you're married. You can't be wearing your wedding ring out of these interviews. In fact, don't wear your wedding ring at all because paparazzi might catch you, and now it's going to upset the fantasy. All because we're trying to market towards a certain demographic, and we don't need you to kill the buzz. That's part of the package.
Yeah.
So when you do that, you're literally messing with people's brand. Exactly. And even though we're at a point now where I don't think that would matter as much, especially for Luther Vandross, because Luther's fans, I mean, Luther made his hay when the sun was out. So his fans are fans no matter what now. It might be salty, it might be a little sour for some of his fans, like, oh man, I made my child that song, whatever. But for the most part, they still go rock Luther when Luther come on. They still go jam whenever. But he has the right to protect his brand, no matter how silly other people may see it, based on how he wants to do it. And for him, not having his sexuality out there was part of maintaining his image and his brand and his marketing. That has to be respected.
Yeah.
Madonna should know that very well. Miss loves to go ahead and put her old musty, dusty, ragtag, mildew-coated vagina out there for everyone to see.
Yeah.
Selling her bony-ass sex nonstop that don't nobody want.
Yeah.
She understands that very well. She's just being nasty, foul, and spiteful as per usual.
Yeah.
Madonna has always had a problem with black people, even though she would still cling to black people to give little bonus points. She used to love putting out there the relationship she had with Tupac and everything, despite the dislike that she had for black people.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
The Michael Jackson jabs that she had over the years, the issues and beef, whatever. What white artist have you seen her go out like this and make those kind of slanderous type jabs?
Real talk.
Yeah. So this is her being backhanded to foul, and like you said, Major, the old bag is desperate for relevance because no one's talking about her. Who knew she had a tour? Who knew she was on tour?
Real talk.
Correct.
Nobody's talking about her selling out no venues. Nobody's talking about no new hits. No one's even talking about her showcasing whatever version of her face is out now, version 8.9B. With this Botox and lip filler. They're talking about the jab she made at Luther Vandross.
That's it.
Correct.
Washed up.
She's washed. She's despicable, bro. And I just can't say enough about that move, man. Like that's really, really low.
That's dirty.
That's dirty, bro.
Now, I want to know with the boy band, because you brought up the boy band. Lance Gross from NSYNC. Did he come out after they broke up, or was he out while they were still performing?
If I remember correctly, he came out officially after they broke up.
Okay,
but I don't know what it was, but rumors were kind of circulating. Now, of course, again, the whole concept of always appearing to be available to the women kind of made it so that you got away from that. Like with Luther Vandross, where he said, there was speculation because they never saw him with a woman. Due to the nature of how the band portrayed themselves, he was allowed to get away with that, where you never had to worry about a woman being around him because, okay, well, they're trying to sell an image. But once they reached the point where they started getting older, they're no longer, the teenagers, the college ages, starting to get a little more mature in years. And so now that image to some extent kind of has to die down. And especially when other bandmates were coming out and we started seeing their families, their wives, or dating, whatever. And this guy just, everyone else kind of like went back to civilian life. But for some reason, he never actually left the workplace. That's when it started really becoming, hey, I wonder if he's such and such. And then once they broke up, no longer any real need to kind of keep that on wraps. All of a sudden, it's ta-da.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to know that fact of it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nothing personal, just business.
And speaking, go ahead.
I just want to say one last thing, because we're talking about the sexuality, whatever the case may be, but let's not forget what she actually did. She put his picture on a flyer where she's supposedly talking about people who died from AIDS. You don't have to be gay to die from AIDS. You understand what I'm saying? And he factually, as far as we know, did not die from AIDS. So that's just false information.
Yeah.
That's not even, that's not even necessarily a slight. I know that, it's implied that that's what she's trying to say or whatever, but just totally false information and something that's being promoted worldwide. That's a very serious thing. That can, like you say, affect his streaming numbers, affect his sales, affect anything, people who want to sample his music.
And affect his family.
His family.
Imagine the people who love him, his close friends and relatives, seeing that nonsense, getting asked questions, all kind of nonsense and bullshit. Man, look. If she did that, if she was in the right location, tried that, Madonna might have had some hands put on her. And they wouldn't be wrong for doing it either. Don't play, because I'm just saying for me, don't play by my levels. That's not fun. I'll be laughing at the end, not you.
The sad part about it is, we're looking at it. A lot of people are not looking at it for the fact that how the dominant society isn't punishing this woman. Because if it was a black woman that would have put a white man on blast like that never came out, they would crush her whole career.
Of course they would.
It would crush her whole career.
What would she be called?
Toxic.
It starts with an H.
Homophobic.
Homophobic. Oh yeah.
That wouldn't even be a paintbrush. They would have taken a whole rocket launching paintball gun and just started making it rain on her.
Right. Yeah. Where's your LGBT activist on this? Where they at?
Correct.
I don't see him though. I don't see him though. Where they at?
Yeah.
Don't wait up.
Shit. Where they at though?
Don't wait up.
Where they at though? Where they at though?
Speaking of suspects, this person has been in the news lately off of his suspected gestures, and people are starting to wonder. Like, a lot of people are coming out more.
What it is?
Photos are coming out about him.
Not Cam Newton.
No.
Oh, okay.
But I will show this picture with. He's been seen a lot with this guy. All right, so it's no other than Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp, and his. This is his. I think it's a fashion. What is it? Stylist? I think this is his stylist. Stylist is Hollywood _Mugler. And they've been, been at the games together, been hanging together. But what happens is he's also the cameraman, and they've been everywhere he goes. He's taking photos, videos of Shannon Sharp, and he's also been styling Shannon Sharp. As you've seen a lot of his clothes lately, that has his signature marks on it. And when they say stylist, this was when he got styled with. Heading to one of his at Total Wine, I guess he had a meet and greet for his cognac line, because he has his own cognac line that's out there. And at Total Wine, he had a meet and greet tour throughout all Total Wines, and this was his last stop. And he popped out very sashaying. And when he came out of the truck, you know what I'm saying? They're very stylish. So
what's going on with that stance, bro?
He's putting fingers, in the air, like, "Hey, I'm here, Total Wine."
That's 3 separate stances, bro.
Yeah, so just wanted to give y'all that, because it's been circulating now, and people are scratching their head like. Yeah, because you see this, like, come on now. This looks like something. What's the dude name?
They got
Saucy Santana pose. This is a Saucy Santana stance. You know what I'm saying? You got the Saucy Santana cut.
They got this man out here look like the baddest bitch.
I definitely wanted to get y'all feedback on that and see if you guys had saw that. And what was your thoughts on that?
Bruh, and why you doing this, bruh? Look, man, I ain't scared of nobody, right?
Yeah.
And it's some niggas, you dig, you just would rather not. You know what I'm saying? That's a big ass nigga, and if I see him, it's just gonna be old and popping, because I can't just let that shit go. What is he doing? Dressed like Janet Jackson in the Pleasure Principle video. What are you doing, bruh?
He might roll up on you at work and be like, "Hey, Major, you was saying something? What you was saying, buddy?"
He looks like Paula Abdul.
What's that, Major? That's no problem. That's no problem.
He looks like Paula Abdul.
He roll up on Major and be like, "You was talking shit? Huh? I heard you was talking shit, Major."
Bruh, Shannon, if you don't look, man, I'm gonna just put this out there. Shannon Shaw, if you see this video, bruh, I ain't trying to pipe up with you. I'm really not. I ain't scared, but I'm really not trying to pipe up with you. But goddamn, bro, you gotta stop giving niggas so much material. What is that? What is that? The fuck you doing?
Oh
Bruh,
man.
I mean, you got the whole leg stand. You know, when the girls standing, they got one of their knees look like it goes back inside their leg or something, and then the other one is forward.
Bow-legged, what Trick Daddy said? Bow-legged, paratoed with it.
Yeah, I'm saying. That's what Jackie O said. I'm standing by the bar, paratoed, bow-legged. Bruh, what is that?
Remember, he had Charleston White said something about him being on that side.
Bruh.
Then after that, he had the beef with Mike Epps.
Mike Epps, yeah.
Yeah, and then recently I just saw a comedy special with Eddie Griffin, and Eddie Griffin was going in on him about that. And now you have this picture surfacing.
Bruh.
So
already butted heads with Mace a little bit too.
And now you.
Yeah.
Bruh, yeah. And now you got us on you.
It's too much. It's
Bruh,
too much.
Everybody said the same thing. Not saying that you are, bruh, but you got some tendencies that look a little funny style, bruh. That ain't no way for no man to stand, especially a big ass John Coffey ass Negro like you.
Yeah, because that's giving Holiday Heart vibes.
What are you doing?
Wanda.
Every
Come
time
on,
I
Wanda.
see this dude, I just think it walking
big
the mile.
Yeah, I can't unsee Ving Rhames no more after that.
Bruh, that wasn't Ving Rhames. That was what's that guy's name that died? That wasn't Ving Rhames. That was another dude bigger than Ving Rhames.
No, you're talking about Michael Clark Duncan.
Michael Clark Duncan.
No,
that's not Bon. That wasn't Michael Clark Duncan.
In the Green Mile?
The Green Mile?
Yes, Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah, but that wasn't who played Wanda. And
I said Big John Coffey ass Negro. That was me.
He played a role too.
He was John Coffey.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Okay. I didn't.
Green Mile, yes.
Oh no. I ain't see that role he played.
No, y'all mixing up. Major, you was talking about Michael Clark Duncan playing John Coffey in the Green Mile, and you was talking about Ving Rhames and Holiday Heart. Y'all were both using those respective brothers to go ahead and make a commentary on Shannon.
Bro, you think he acting like that? Is the point?
The problem is Shannon out here looking all kind of confused. Now we're getting y'all confused and discombobulated. So you see what happens when you add an opener.
What are you doing, bro? Like, dog, you feel me?
Look,
nah.
I actually like Shannon.
I like
Shannon. That's my brother.
I do like Shannon.
I'm
I don't
popping
have no
on him.
problem with Shannon.
But
I'm like,
I gotta say, and now I know the photographer is evil because I'm pretty sure that they were out there taking all kind of pictures. You know how they do the pictures and everything. And I'm pretty sure as they were going to the camera roll, they saw, hey, there's a couple shots in here that look a little zesty. Let's make sure because you know how they do. Look, Hollyweird in the media is evil.
Yeah.
Especially brothers. We ain't got no friends out here that Hollyweird. But at the same time, it's too much, man. You can't burn the candle at three ends. You can't burn it at two. You can't definitely burn it at three ends.
Real talk.
With all the allegations popping off, and then, people talk and say all kind of things all the time. Shannon lets a lot roll off his back, but these allegations, all of a sudden he's snapping to be sensitive about, man. Put the target on his back. You got to be smarter than that, bro. But what I can say is, all I know is the way Shannon moving, I just got some advice for you, big dog. I'm going to let my brother here tell it to you like this. Delete this. delete this, bro.
Subconsciously, and that's why I say when you hang with people subconsciously, your stylist is like that. You subconsciously take the behavior, the walk, the talk, the look, and everying like that from the individual, and you're starting to see it rub off on Shannon. You know what I'm saying? So, subconsciously, people don't understand how you can become somebody subconsciously, even if he sits back and says, "No, I'm not like that." But you hang around somebody that's like that, getting styled by somebody like that, you're gonna easily jump out the truck like that. Easy.
Bruh. The man purse and what and then the chest out, even the look on his face. Even the look on his face, he's holding his face like a hood rat. Bruh, what are we doing here?
I'm just saying, that picture specifically, I look at that and the picture sounds like ski. I hear the sexy Look.
Oh man.
Shannon.
All right.
Shay.
Bro, you violate all laws, gang.
We gotta do better, brother. We gotta do better. We want to see you win out here, brother. This ain't a W. This is an L. Brother. We gotta do better, man.
Definitely. This is the laugh of the day.
We
do want to give Sonetta, man, some props for this. Sonetta was out in the streets, and this is election year. So, it's very critical we get our minds on point and understand the strategy behind this. Also, make sure that we have, we're putting in things in play, demanding stuff that's tangible, and not just voting just to be voting. So shout out to Sonata. Sonata. He was out there in the streets of Harlem. Well, no, I don't think this was Harlem. I think was it Brooklyn? Yeah, he was out there in Brooklyn, I believe so. Brooklyn, yeah. But he was in New York and he was in the streets. And a white politician, like I said, this is a voting year, came out there to pander for some votes. And this is what Sonata had to say.
Okay.
That I'm standing in the middle of Harlem, 2016, and we still got Negroes fighting for white people.
Fuck a camera, my nigga. Don't disrespect Harlem, bro. We fucking work mad fucking hard to get everything that we got.
You listen to this dude. How the fuck am I disrespecting Harlem? Yo, this dude is a bozo. Don't listen. Listen, we standing up in Harlem. I've been in Harlem all my life. Get him. Look at him. Get him. Look at him. He's upset because I'm telling black people, don't sleep on this white man coming in here to get y'all vote. This nigga's upset at me for waking y'all up. How many times the white man came here in New York, in Harlem, to get our vote, and when they get in the office, what do they do to y'all? What do they do to y'all? Nothing.
Yeah, shout out. We talk about man up. That's manning up.
All right? I love that shit. Yeah. That's what we need.
Hey, you know what? We should start a segment. I just thought about a segment for our videos. Our video segment. We should have a man up segment for our videos.
I love it.
Yeah.
Gang.
So I'll leave that up. I'll leave that up to you, Major. You're creative with it.
Run it.
Let's get it. Bruh, that's what we need right there. That's real man shit.
Yeah.
You dig? Bruh. What else can you say to the community that's realer than that? Because ain't that what they do? Ain't that what these politicians do? They forget about your black ass for 4 years. Then when election time come, they come bringing their tighten ass down there, with a bucket of chicken, trying to learn the latest dance so they can be down. Fuck that.
I toss in their bag.
You dig? Real talk. And you got buffoons like Roland Martin coon ass out there showing Hillary Clinton how to do the electric slide. He actually told this woman, "You done lost the black vote if you don't know how to do the electric slide." He actually told Hillary Clinton that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the representation that you have in the so-called black media. You understand? So that's why Sonetta and others have formed the new black media. You understand? Which is primarily a presence online, but as he showed right there, you can take it to the streets. And this is supposed to be United States of America. Who is this damn immigrant? I said it, okay, to come and tell the Americans who built this country what we can come out and protest and what we can in our own homeland. Fuck you.
I think what you said made, because I thought the same thing too. Because he looks Dominican. He don't look black. He looks Dominican, and there's a lot of Dominicans in Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
I think is in
Harlem.
Cameron
Harlem
is
does not
Cameron.
look the way.
Cameron is FBA, I think. Fabulous is
FBA.
Cameron's FBA.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's Nori, right? Nori's immigrant.
Nori is he Cuban or
Dominican? Is he Dominican?
One of them. He's not FBA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jewel said
Capone is FBA. Capone is FBA. Nori is it.
Okay. And the other one, Fabulous is also mixed with Panamanian. And the other one,
if I'm not mistaken, his pops is FBA, but his mother is Panamanian.
Right, and Jim Jones is also mixed with Panamanian. I think one of them places. But all of those guys I mentioned, they're either half tether or whole tether.
Okay.
And I say tether because they're not on code at all. None of them.
Yeah, then that guy right there looks Dominican. He don't look black. He don't look black. He looks Dominican.
And the thing is, okay, who are you, Johnny come lately, to come here and tell us who built this country what we can and cannot say? The whole idea of America is that you have freedom of speech. So the man was out there exercising his rights of freedom of speech as he should. Who are you?
It makes sense because a lot of Dominicans are whitewashed. A lot of people from the Caribbean are very whitewashed. So for him to defend the white man for coming out there and going hard on Sonetta, that just it kind of lines up with this guy being 100% tethered. I don't think he's nowhere near FBA talking like that.
Definitely a tether.
Nah.
Like roaches. Dude, like real talk. You know what you do?
He ain't even bootlegging, he's boot slurping.
Real talk. God, man. Come on, man. Like again, you know, if you differ in opinion, okay, debate the man on the merits of what he's saying. But you just want to come out there and all out attack this man for his opinion? Fuck you, dude.
Right.
You ain't even from here. We got to start checking people on that. And that's exactly what he should have told him. Come on now.
Definitely. I did want to show this meme real quick before I get into the video. So, a king with the wrong queen cannot protect the kingdom if his biggest threat is inside his own castle. And I want to show this video because this is a therapist who had something to say about married women. And I thought this was very important because you have to watch who you are aligning with and who you are wanting to journey life with. And like Major said, he has his book coming out about vetting. And I think you have to do better vetting. Men got to do better vetting. If not, you're going to always fall victim. So I want to play this video real quick.
Never believe a woman's story in her marriage. The amount of times that I have gotten sucked into a woman's story. We are so manipulative. We know how to dramatize and exaggerate the circumstances and experiences in the marriage to suck someone in, to feel sorry for us, to validate us in our victim story. What's his experience though? What's his side of the story? It's just like, it would almost be blasphemy to not believe some of the things a woman says. And oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you have to never.
Yeah, so I thought that was very interesting from a therapist to tell guys, be careful of the stories you guys hear that these women talk about with their ex, prior relationships or prior marriages, because a lot of them be, not really telling the truth. That's why she was like, what's his side? Because there's always three sides: her side, his side, and the truth.
Real talk.
And so I land my phone.
Not even just in relationships, just generally speaking. Look at Rhoda Bash, the brick lady, lying through her goddamn teeth, right? You got people all over the place coming caping for her, coming to her defense. Comedy Hype. I used to watch that show. I don't watch it no more because they came on there talking all this BS about black men and how black men need to show these younger black men how to be because they don't know how to take rejection. And they hate women and we by ourselves. This lady was lying.
Yeah.
The whole narrative that was created was black men need to do this, black men need to do that. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, Carly Russell. Don't get me started. Carly Russell had a whole goddamn SWAT team out looking for her ass. Lying.
Yeah, there was another girl who lied on the guy. What she said, the guy gave her AIDS and he had to he was in the car and he had to show receipts from his car, and then she admit that she lied, and this man could have actually took his life because people on social media was banging on him and he had to save his peace. So
look at Michael Irvin.
Yep.
Look at Michael Irvin and this damn sun dodger that attacked him or whatever the case may be at what you call it in the what was it the Marriott woman who accused him of making some type of sexually inadequate statement or whatever the case may be and tried to extort him for a bag.
Correct.
As if somebody owes you millions of dollars because even if he did make a comment, that means he owes you something?
Correct.
We got to really start checking our head, man. People jump out the window at the least little bullshit.
Correct.
Because a woman said it. And there's a history behind that. Remember Emmett Till?
Correct.
We got to be real, real careful about believing whoever says it just because they said it, just because they're a woman. It's one of the most despicable things that these feminazis have, encouraged and brought to the forefront, in today's society because they know that black men are easy targets.
Correct.
That's how white supremacy works. I'll land my plane. That was too easy.
Drake. You got anything for that, Drake?
Absolutely.
You good?
Spot on. Funny enough, and because we discussed this, I recently actually came across there is a term for this in psychology that actually has some age on it. This phenomenon is not old. We know we've been discussing this for quite some time in different terms, but I found the official term for it today, ironically enough. And it is referred to, and the term was coined back in 1994. It's called the "Women Are Wonderful" effect. Funny enough. And just to give a brief breakdown of it, the "Women Are Wonderful" effect is the phenomenon found in psychological and sociological research, which suggests that people associate more positive attributes with women when compared to men. This bias reflects an emotional bias toward women as a general case. The phrase was coined by Alice Eagley and Antonio Mladinich in 1994 after finding that both male and female participants tend to assign positive traits to women, with female participants showing a far more pronounced bias. Positive traits were assigned to men by participants of both genders, but to a far lesser degree. The authors suppose that the positive general evaluation of women might derive from the association between women and nurturing characteristics. This bias has been cited as an example of benevolent sexism. So we talk about sexism that looks at women in a negative light, but we also have the opposite end of the spectrum where there also is a benefit to women as well, where they're seen as, these sweet, gentle, naive creatures who must be protected 24/7, 365 because they're incapable of wrongdoing or harm. And we talk about this as well, too, where there's all kind of difficulties that come from that, where we are unable to see women as perpetrators, even when they're dead to rights guilty. But men, by default, are always seen as victimizers. and how that also lends itself to not seeing men as victims when necessary. We don't take domestic violence seriously when a man is the victim, but when it's a woman, the whole show is supposed to stop. Everything's supposed to come to a screeching halt. We must, run to the rescue. We must save this woman. She's in danger. She's under threat. When it's a man, not so much. Even when he's physically attacked, when he's really injured or what have you, it becomes a judgment or a mark against him as a man. Well, you're a grown man. How are you going to let her do that to you, what have you? Or even in some cases where men are afraid to defend themselves because they're afraid that it's going to result in them being seen as the instigator. They're going to be the one that goes to jail and everything else, where they feel like their best bet of survival is to just take the abuse and hope that someone's able to intervene before it gets worse. Another phenomenon worth looking at, it's under the same umbrella. I'm not going to get into it. That's a little bit more in depth, but again, it's worth looking and studying because this is the world that we live in. It's gamma bias. So that was a little deeper. That was not as easy to chop up into bite-sized chunks, but again, it's juice that's worth the squeeze. So when you get the chance, look into gamma bias and understand how that works. And when you look at these things, start trying to, because the way that this really hits and resonates with you is start comparing examples in your own life, people that you know, stories that you've seen, and start trying to plug and play and see, I wonder if this kind of fits or this explains some of the things I've observed. Because unfortunately, we were born into this to a large extent. So for a lot of us, these things that we're talking about are very normalized. It's just another day, blue sky, green grass. And it's not until someone provides you the context to look at you like you realize, wait a second. You mean to me that this isn't normal? I thought that this was the way it was always was. I thought it's the way it was supposed to be. Not so much.
Wow. That's heavy.
Wow.
That's heavy.
Yeah,
bro.
that was dope. I just learned something new today. I never
I just
knew
learned
that.
something. Real talk.
blew my socks off today, man. I wasn't even looking for it. I just stumbled into it, like a lot of the best things out there. But once I started jumping down the rabbit hole, I'm like, I'll be damned. Okay. So I thought it was just me and a few other people seeing this, but this is legit. And like I mentioned, this isn't something that was just popped out the last decade. So this goes back to at least the 90s. So people have been seeing this. So that means that it's just been getting worse. It's just been growing. And now at this point, it's probably way too much source material and examples to cite for the stuff. So it's not if it was a theory before, it's not anymore. It's scientific law.
Wow. Okay.
Craziness of psychology. That is how powerful it can be.
Well, that's why we here though, to teach, right?
Yep. Inform, teach, build. So we want to get into our next segment, which is question of the day. All right. And the question of the day is nothing major, but the question of the day is, what do you do when you are in a relationship with a woman who has a grown child that lives in the house with you? And you guys get into disagreements and that child has become very disrespectful. What is the next moves in that? And I want to show a video to give better visuals to what is meant. All right.
Fucking question, because I saw you do it. Do you have a job? I just saw you do it. Do you have a job? Yeah, the fuck I do. No, you don't. People are watching this. That's my fucking job. Are you masturbating in front of a green screen? Hell yeah, I am. Do whatever the fuck I want in front of this green screen. Not my fucking house. Yeah, that's how that goes. Get the fuck out of the way. I'm gonna fucking knock his ass. No, you're not. Get the fuck out you're fucking not. We pay you money. That's how that goes. You're drunk as shit. Shut up. Go? Yeah, try something. Upstairs. Go. Don't defend him. Go. Armand's probably already called the cops, dude. Get the fuck out of here. No, it's Sierra, stay there. It's you and him. No, it's fucking not. It's you and your fat ass. Go upstairs. Go upstairs. You want to know how bad I am, motherfucker? Go upstairs. How bad I am? You want to know how bad I am? Hey, motherfucker. You're fucked up drunk and he's gonna kick the shit right out of you. Are you dumb?
I love it. This white on white crime is
what
delicious.
do you do in that situation?
Beautiful.
Hey, make sure you
Solution.
see that video clip. That was precious. That was a precious moment in time.
Oh man.
Oh my God. Woo. Oh, that was epic. What? When Channing Tatum fights Marky Mark? Bro, are you kidding me?
That boy said we interrupt our live stream Twitch session of Tekken to bring you real life Tekken. That boy started button mashing that man's face.
That was precious. Just one time for the video. Oh
One
man,
time
that
for
was
the one time.
example. Woo, bruh. To answer the question now. Oh man, that was a moment.
That was rich, bro. That was fatty.
I will say this. This type of thing is why a lot of high value men, single men, have chosen to make an issue of why they refuse to date single mothers.
True.
And I'm not shitting on single mothers. I'm really not. You understand? But I'm not having an emotional knee-jerk response to people saying that they're not interested in single mothers. I just don't like the fact that they just kind of pile on and make single mothers look like, rapists and pedophiles. No, I'm not feeling that. You understand? But I do understand why someone may not want to deal with a single mother, because she may have that to deal with. As a man coming in, this is your son. He lives at home with you. I'm paying all the bills here. This is my castle. You understand what I'm saying? I can only speak for myself. I don't have kids just yet. But this is why I have always held that position, because I'm never going to end up in a position like that. My kids are going to be my kids. I'm not going to hear no, you ain't my daddy. I'm not going to hear no, I just can't. I black out, because I used to date a woman with a child. You know what I'm saying? And like it always does, that came up, and it's like, bruh, I just can't. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. And that's, to me, also where vetting comes in, because you need to do your proper vetting going in to understand the situation. There's no way you didn't know he was like that before you got there.
Mm-hmm.
No way. If you did the proper vetting. And let's just make sure we flip the script and look at the whole picture. Apparently the father was drunk as hell, and he wasn't in his right mind either. You know what I'm saying? So you also, from that position, have to be in a place where you can lead from a place of example. You home drunk, and you're disturbing the man's live stream because your mind ain't right because you're drunk. Who you gonna lead? So as much as you have a disrespectful ass kid, you also got the father-in-law that's out of order. Stepfather rather, that's out of order. You know what I'm saying? So, like, granted, nobody's perfect, but I really do feel like it is incumbent upon the man who is pursuing the woman to really do the proper vetting and make a valid assessment of exactly what he's getting himself into to help prevent things like that from happening. And if it does get to that level, you need to just be out. You can't have order in a household where you have no control.
And I think, I agree with that. I just want to add in this part. Maybe you might want to elaborate more.
Sure.
But when he said this is his house, his castle, but the caveat to that was the fact that the boy said, we pay you rent or money. So basically, you're not paying all the bills. So if I feel like I'm paying you money, then nigga, this is my spot. So now we equal. Nigga, you ain't my stepfather. I pay you rent for this spot. So shut the fuck up. Go back upstairs.
Oh, well, I can kind of sort of hear where you're going with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, why are you paying me rent?
Yeah.
right? Because I mean, if you're paying me rent, that is, I mean, then I'm your landlord.
Yeah.
Then no, you still my bitch. You understand what I'm saying? I'm your landlord. I still own this shit. Dig? Oh no. Let's keep it up. If that's how we want to do it, if that's how you want to play it, cool. You still my bitch. Pay up. Fuck out. And that's just what it is. I'm saying, if that's how,
but he might wake up and be like, he might wake up and be like, shit, I can't survive without their portion of the rent.
Shit,
my best round is going to be $50 more next month. Keep playing.
the way he talked to him, he just knew, like, yo, shut the fuck up, man. Go upstairs.
That was crazy though, man. Like, yo. But yeah, I mean, shit. It's still his spot. His name on the lease. And he said, "We pay you." Is the mother and the son giving him rent? What's that about? That's I don't know, bro. I don't know who.
And the wife and the mother don't even respect him because she was telling him like, "Hey, you're drunk. He's gonna kick your ass." You know.
But that's what I'm saying. That situation is a little too fucked up to even analyze. But real talk, bottom line, as a man whose name is on the lease, if you have no control in your house, you have nothing. So you need to walk the hell away. Even if that means you can't make mortgage next month, nigga, you need to find some new tenants.
I'm being funny, but I really agree with what you said.
Yeah.
Drake, what you got for us?
Wow.
Bro, I can't stop laughing. Oh man. Yo, you are a better man than me for trying to even touch that with a 10-foot pole. The only thing I want to do with that is I want to sit back with the jumbo-sized bucket of popcorn and the slush, and I just want, and I'm just gonna be like, Jerry, beat that hoe, beat that hoe, beat that hoe. We gonna take him out of middle school with him, man.
What?
Oh, but as for the question itself, not including that whole cluster show circus that was going on, you know, you have to be mindful and understand that when you're dealing with these step family situations where there's children already in the equation, it's a new relationship, it's a new man, new woman coming in the picture. By default, that means that this is going to be a modern, untraditional setup.
Yeah.
Which means that you're not going to have the luxury and the benefit of a traditional relationship, whereas, you know, you, the childless man, getting with the childless woman, you come together, you establish your own family, you come together, you talk about children, how many kids you want to have, what kind of parenting styles you want to have, bring your children together, you have the same exact connection and relation to the child, the same foundation. The child knows that you both is his or her parents or whatnot. You're foregoing that when you get into one of these situations. So that means that the default structures that normally are in place that govern these relationships, you don't have. So you're going to essentially have to revamp and structure everything from the ground up. We're not just talking about the building materials. We're talking about even the soil that this thing is being built on. Everything has to be accounted for. And typically you start having issues, just like with any piece of construction. You tend to start having issues in the places where corners have been cut, where certain things haven't been taken into considerations, no provisions for. You try to see if you can get around doing this. Those tend to be the areas that come back to bite you in your ass pretty hard.
Yeah.
Now you have some relationships that work this way that are fantastic. They're great relationships, whether the other parent is in the picture or not. You have the blended families. You have the kids from both households, if that's the case, or whatever. Things work just fine. Mm-hmm. Those are out there. That is not the majority of these situations, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And since I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this question was written from the perspective of a woman and how to deal with this. Was it based on how the man should deal with it, or was it based on how the woman should deal with it?
The man.
Okay. So in the man's situation, it's a little different than it would be for the woman. From the man's standpoint, my advice would be you need to be very clear and very intentional. Once you see that you want to take this to the next level, you're not just looking for this to be a dating thing. You're trying to actually build a relationship and a family with this woman. Needs to be very clear and straightforward about how you're looking for this relationship to look. Now, if the children are grown, that's a different story. I'm not going to say that you shouldn't have grown children living with you. I don't necessarily believe in that. I believe that the house should be the launching pad, and ultimately, if a child wants to stay there until they're ready to go ahead and start out their own family, so be it. So long as the child is being productive, they're working, they're established for themselves, they're otherwise operating as if they're out on their own, where they're paying bills or they're contributing, whatever the case may be, but they're abiding by the ground rules that you've set for the household. I'm with that. I believe in that family concept. However, this child, be they grown or still underage, needs to understand that you are the child.
Yeah.
It don't matter what your age is, you are the child. You are not your mother. What goes on between your mother and I, that's between us.
Yeah.
Stay out of grown folks' business, so to speak.
Real talk.
Now, of course, there's a difference, to me at least anyway. Some people don't see it that way, but to me, there's a difference between a serious committed relationship and a marriage. I believe if y'all just dating, y'all just girlfriend and boyfriend long term, no matter if it's 6 months or 6 years, there's certain levels, certain benefits, certain privileges that you are not entitled to.
Yeah.
Once you're married, that's different. You've essentially gotten the keys for the new place, so to speak. So you have all the rights and privileges there within. However, at the same time, your child, regardless, should be respecting the ground rules that are laid in your home. Your child is only going to have as much respect for you, the man, as the mother insists they have. So even if the mother's setting the right tone, she has the proper respect, she's got the proper prioritization of the relationship. If the child, if they're an adult, is still crossing boundaries, it might be time for the child to step.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to find yourself having a whole baby boy situation where you got Jody trying to get into it with Melvin, and then you got glass table shards you got to pick him and all other kind of stuff and all kind of boohoo crying and nonsense and whatnot. But if the adult child cannot respect the situation, they go on and get up out of there.
Yeah.
If it's a small child, understand that if she has not done the work to properly raise the child and get this child ready and prepared for her entertaining someone new, someone serious, and there's issues with respect, there's issues with how they conduct themselves, there's issues with discipline, what have you, that's not a red flag. That's a neon light. That's the Krispy Kreme hot and ready donut sign on.
Real talk.
Yeah.
You ignore that if you want to. All you're gonna be doing is swinging at the air like Cuba Gooding Jr. later on if you do it. The reality is, a lot of mothers. No, I'm calling it like it is. The truth is, a lot of mothers, unfortunately, because they're either unable to or unwilling to move in that fashion, a lot of mothers are going to have to wait until their children are older and about the house before they can start seriously dating and entertaining a mate again, because they're not going to be able to shake the foundation that's already been put in place. And as a man, you have to understand that you are getting a sneak preview as to what you're going to deal with, even if you bring children with this woman into the relationship. So if you have a child that's been raised one way, and now you and your wife are bringing another child into the equation, you have to understand that there's going to be a bit of a culture clash there. especially if the other child perceives that the new child is being treated differently or better than they were coming up, if that's how they perceived it. Well, they're doing for this. We never did this when I was coming up. Jealousy, all the kind of things that come into the equation. So you have to be mindful of these things.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say avoid it. There are definitely some women out there who do have children, and they're wonderful women. They'll make great mates. They're great, loving, attentive mothers. They're nurturing. They'll also make wonderful mothers to your children if you have them with her, or if you were bringing children in the situation. They are out there.
Mm.
However, we have to understand that you have to vet carefully, like Major said, because if not, you're going to find yourself in a situation that's going to cause more headache and hell than it's worth. So,
real talk.
Make sure you look before you leap, so to speak.
I've been there.
Definitely.
Real talk.
Definitely.
It's a thing.
Superb. All right, so that's it for tonight. We definitely had a great show tonight. I think it was a very powerful show, coming off of Black History Month.
Yes.
So I did want to show this one meme of gems before we get into the Queen check. This is the Q1 checklist for everybody to abide by. All right. So, dear universe, please introduce me to more beautiful souls who possess big, warm hearts, stay true to themselves, cheer for others' success, show kindness without ulterior motives, live with purpose and intention, and practice patience and understanding. So just a little bit of gems heading in for the rest of the year, so you guys stay on the right track for here, Manifestations 2020. With that being said, let's get into our final segment of the night, which is Crown Check. And Crown Check is a phenomenal queen. I think this woman here should be notarized and basically acknowledged by a lot of women. If you are a woman that has been on your monthly, then you need to give it up for this woman, who is Mary Beatrice Kenner. She's an American inventor and was noted for her development of the adjustable sanitary belt. Kenner received 5 patents, for which include a carrier attachment for invalid walker and bathroom tissue holder. So every time you go to the bathroom and you put that new tissue on the roll, thank this Black woman right here. All right. Her invention, the True Fit elastic sanitary belt, gives perfect comfort. The belt is carefully made to fit correctly and will give excellent satisfaction. Kenner showed mechanical aptitude at the age of 6 by attempting to develop a self-oiling hinge. She completed the patent application for her invention for the adjustable sanitary belt in 1954, and the patent was granted in 1956. The invention was described as an eliminator for chafing and irritation normally caused by the device of its class. However, the company that first showed interest in her invention, the Sonopat Company, rejected it after they discovered she was African American. Kenner never made any money from the sanitary belt because her patent expired and became public domain, allowing it to be manufactured freely. She later invented a modification of the sanitary belt, and it included a moisture-resistant pocket.
Wow.
She, between 1956 and 1987, she received 5 total patents for her household and personal item creations, which is the largest number of patents held by a Black woman. She shared the patent on the toilet tissue holder with her sister, Mildred Davison. She also held a patent on the back washer that could be mounted on the shower or bathroom tub wall, also known as backwash. The invention was patented in 1987, the patent number 4696068. She also patented carrier attachment for the walker in 1959 after Mildred developed multiple sclerosis. And last but not least, Mary Kenner worked at a professional floral arrangement and had four flower shops scattered around the DC area. She operated the business for 23 years after dropping out of college due to financial difficulties. During World War II, Mary found a job with the federal government, working with the Census Bureau and General Accountant Office. She would chaperone younger women to attend military-based dances in Washington, D.C. One night while chaperoning, Kenner met and fell in love with a soldier whom she married in 1945. They divorced in 1950. In 1951, Kenner was married to renowned heavyweight boxer James Jabbo Kenner. Together, they lived in Virginia near the Kennedy's complex. They were foster parents to 5 boys. Shout out to that sister for being such a phenomenal woman and her creativity and inventions that still live on to this day.
Amazing. This woman was still inventing and getting patents for shit after she learned she had multiple sclerosis, bro. What?
Her sister.
Oh, I thought that was her. Oh,
no, her sister. Yeah, her sister was she was a co-inventor on one of the projects.
Okay, my bad. I read that wrong. And then, I mean, this is
inspiring.
Very inspiring. All this after they adopted five kids.
Yes, 5 boys changed their lives.
That's wow. This lady did a lot. She did a lot, and she developed the sanitary belt. Never made any money off of it.
None.
And then she just went on and kept inventing things.
Correct. While being a florist, while operating 4 businesses.
Dude, this is why I don't accept excuses from people.
Yeah.
You dig? Because this is a woman, back in those days, they had way less opportunity and way less rights than we do. And she managed to still get all this done.
Mm-hmm.
That's inspiring as hell. Shout out to that sister. And shout out to all the other sisters out there that's moving correctly. You know what I'm saying? In the spirit of this show, you know, y'all stay on y'all girl code and we're going to stay on our man up code. You know, this is very, very important. You know, I love the feel of this show. We came back, you know, to discuss, hey, in January, or actually in late December, we said we were going to do all these things. Let's touch base and see how far along we are on these things. Let's touch base and see, you know, how far we've come. What progress are we actually making? Doing a self-check while we're making the progress. That is so dope. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, some of the memes and some of the topics that you were discussing today was spot on with the topic. Very, very, very good show. Very funny, very engaging. I think today's show was bomb. And, you know, y'all got my word. I'm going to stay on code. You know what I'm saying? I will always be true. You know what I'm saying? And I will get out here and inspire as many people as I can. I encourage everybody that's out there to do the same. You know, that's what everything is about here, man. We get together, we speak, we inspire each other, and we go out into the world and bring that energy to the next brother, and that's how we build better men. Steel, sharp, and steel. Steel, sharp, and steel. I'll land my plane.
And if you don't stick to the man code, you're gonna get Shannon Sharp to come up to your job like, where Major at? Where Major at?
That is absolutely off man code. That shit right there stands. Oh my God.
Drake, what you got for us?
Oh man, what a time to be alive, boy! I tell you. Yeah, great quarterly check-in. Really love this vibe. Let me give a shout out to the sister we just mentioned, Sister Mary. Stellar, phenomenal.
Yes.
I'm reminded of the quote that says, "Don't talk about how you don't have enough time in a day. We've got the same exact 24 hours that this sister had, and all the others who were able to do so much in a time where they had so little access. They didn't have nearly as many technical advances. Things took longer to cook food, took longer to get from place to place. it took longer to basically do everything, to even get information, and yet they were still able to crank out so much. And us, with all our modern conveniences and ease of access to information, everything else, we out here can barely find the hole in our ass in the bathroom. It makes no sense. I love hearing about these sisters, and also we look into history and see our brothers who've done so many incredible things, because it shows that if they can, why the hell can't you?
Real talk. Yes.
Why the hell can't I? It makes no sense. I've got more access. If they did all that back then, you miss and bust of the time capsule and bring them over here, boy, they gonna tear the block up.
Yeah.
They gonna lock it down
once they learn Windows and stuff out.
So we can't let them down. We have to be inspired, and we have to see that and let that light a fire in our asses and say, you know what? I can't sit back and rest on my laurels and do less. Damn it, I got to do more. Because you can. And to whom much is given, much is required. So we can't take that for granted. Great show. I love the check, and I love to see how everyone's coming along with their goals and their plans and their dreams. I can't wait for the half-year mark where we can tap in and see what's new, what advancing we have, how much closer we are to checking everything off our lists, going through the ups and the downs of the whole process, because it's a journey, right? We're talking about becoming better men, better people. And these different things that we're undertaking, they're building and shaping us in different ways. It's doing things, some bigger than others, some less, but they're all building and adding on to our character as men. And if we can stay the course, if we can achieve these goals, or even if for some reason we're unable to achieve everything, but we make the attempt, we give it a good shot, and we're not able to get all the way there, just the effort alone is going to do a lot into bring us close to who it is that we're trying to be and who we want to be. So stay encouraged, stay motivated. And, of course, we always going to tap into each other behind the scenes. So the motivation is going to keep on rolling. But just want to encourage everybody else, again, we started this ball rolling at the beginning of the year, but it's not too late. Self-improvement doesn't require, and I said this back then too, self-improvement does not require January 1st. You do not have to wait a whole calendar year before you can start improving. You can literally start improving right this very second by identifying a goal, setting your sights on it, doing the research or the due diligence to find out what I need to make this thing come to fruition, and then attack that thing with every mother-loving ounce of strength you got. Make something shake. Because ultimately it's you that you have to thank. And like my brother C.T. Fletcher says, when it's all said and done, I don't want to have any blank pages in my book. When they look at when they finally close the casket on me, whenever God decides for that to be, and they look over my book of life, they look over the pages, what I'm terrified of is there to be blank pages in that thing. I want every single page filled. I want the margins to have text spilling over. I want to be writing up along the edges of the borders and everything. I want my book of life to be full and filled with rich attempts, successes, failures, goals. I want to be said that I lived, and I lived well. Make sure the same thing can be said of you. Make sure you go ahead and you know what it is. Like, share, subscribe. Tell somebody about these somebodies. You understand?
Yay!
Back here next week, Sunday. You know the vibes. Much love to y'all. Can't wait to continue on this journey with y'all.
Definitely. And remember, this is Women's Month, right? So
Women's History Month.
So what a way to start off with a phenomenal sister that invented something that every woman needed in this whole world. All right. So definitely check us out next week. And we appreciate everybody. So stay tuned. Be easy.
Okay.
Peace.
Yeah.
Bless up.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If black people knew their glorious past, if black people knew their glorious past, if black people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage, we are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.